Good morning and welcome to the PGL Europe Minor Championships, the final minor before we head off to the offline qualifier, before we head to the PGL Major in Krakow. We've got a star-studded lineup of teams and also a star-studded lineup of men on the panel as well. We've got Budget Yanko and alongside him is Harry. Good morning.
Hello, yeah.
They messed it up for you there, Paul. They put the wrong camera on. So, you know.
Wasn't the greatest start, but we'll come back. How are you doing, Thorin?
I mean, I can just tell you, all the organisers know I'm in no way budget Yanko.
Right.
Just working on the day rate alone.
Well, I didn't want to say anything.
No.
Yeah. And Harry, good to have you here.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm loving the city and the studio. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm wearing the glasses as well to try and look more intelligent. I got told I was going to be on the desk, which I wasn't ready for, not going to lie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yanko was meant to be here. Don't know what happened.
We also didn't have your lower third ready, because apparently your nickname is Orange Knob.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Orange Knob, yeah, that's me.
Okay. I'm wondering what this is going to be like. I've actually never done a minor before, you know.
Right.
And Jason was telling me he had a lot of fun with the American minor. I thought I misheard him at first, but apparently it's a tournament, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Dear me, it started already. We are going to also talk about the previous minors as well and discuss how we got here, because, of course, this minor system is not just complete here. We have 3 more teams coming from Europe, which will head in to the offline final. So what have you made of them so far, the teams that have gone through? Has it been pretty much as you thought?
Well, the funny thing is, this actually could have been an even more stacked minor. I mean, we obviously could have had Space Soldiers as a team where people look to them as a team. They complain about not getting invites to the big tournaments, didn't qualify for this. Could obviously have had NIP, people who've been in the final majors. So I think we've got some pretty good teams here, but it could have been even more stacked. It shows you kind of how competitive the scene is there when the minor can have that many good teams.
Yeah, one of those teams was Heroic as well. They didn't
exactly,
make it out of the close qualifier. And it's crazy, isn't it, when we think about how competitive the scene is right now?
Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting, especially as Duncan said about, Space Soldiers being the ones that could have made it. And then they actually lost to Dignitas in the last stage of that close qualifier to make it here. No, they got completely ruined. It was a slaughter. It was actually disgusting to have to watch.
We are hopefully going to have plenty of competitive matches, though, and the teams that are lined up here in the EU Minor look something like this. Let's show you all of the teams right now. The 8 teams fighting it out for their place of 3 spots left at the offline finals. EnVy, of course, in their big Kinguin Ballistics, formerly known as Fnatic Academy, in Group A. In Group B, we've got Penta, LDLC, the aforementioned Dignitas, and the surprise of the closed qualifiers, iGame, who not only beat NIP, but also beat Heroic in that closed qualifier as well. So super competitive right now across the board. The top team that we have here, ranked-wise, is EnVy. In terms of HLTV rankings, they're ranked 16th, which might make us sort of look at it and go, well, it can't be that competitive then, but it is. It's a very deep pool of CS teams right now.
Yeah, and I actually think, because obviously this one doesn't have any of the holdover problems with seedings that the big majors have, where it goes with the Legends spots. They've done a very good job of seeding, actually. Like you saw there, obviously the favourites is big and envious based on where they placed, etc. But Group B, which is the one that has the middling team, that really is the stacked one. There's many teams could get out that, and obviously only 2 is going to get out that group.
Okay, let's take a look at the structure and prize pool of this particular tournament, because there is, of course, $50,000 up for grabs. We've also got 2 groups of 4 teams of each who've seen the groups themselves. We've got a GSL format. Top 2 will advance through to the semi-finals of an upper bracket system. There'll also be best of 1s to start things off, and then everything else after that will be best of 3. Lower bracket matches also best of 3 to get our 3 teams through. As we said, $50,000 on the line, 30 grand for first, and second 15 grand plus the invite. And third also gets an invite from the EU as well as $5,000. Now, I think it's important as well that we point out that the reason we've got 3 for EU isn't because we're special in any way, but it's because of the whole EnVy G2 mix-up and change. I think the way it works is something like EnVy had the 3 players that went to G2, so G2 spot becomes the spot here, doesn't it?
The problem is, technically, EnVyUs has 3 players who play in the major. They've got Scream, they've got Happy, just they didn't all play for the same team. Now, but the thing is, it's kind of balanced out because obviously it gives them another spot also to potentially make it. So I think in the end, it'll all kind of work itself out.
Yeah, it'll shake itself out in the mix as well. So why don't we go through the schedule for you as to what we've got coming for you on day 1 here of 4. We'll start things off with EnVy versus Ballistics. We'll move on. Big versus Kinguin, just focusing on this one group, of course, and then we'll have the upper bracket final, best of 1, and 2 best of 3s. That's what we've got to look forward to on the first day here at the EU Minor. Same thing, of course, tomorrow with Group B, and then we'll move on to the knockout stages in terms of the upper bracket and the lower bracket. Do you think this makes a difference, Duncan, with the fact that we've got these three? Because obviously it means if you make it through the groups and you're in then you're basically one best of three away from qualifying through.
Yeah, exactly. So the key element there is, like, obviously you can be the two teams who make the upper bracket final and the other minors, and in theory you might still not make it. Like you're that far through the tournament, you're one match away from making it, but you could still lose out in the lower. So it certainly makes kind of a different flavor to the tournament, because now the points at which we're watching, the really important thing, like for example, just getting through those lower bracket matches means you're through already. So yeah, people will still play it out for the prize money and presumably seeding when you go to the qualifier itself. But I think it's going to have a very different flavor for where people are worried about what match and which opponent you want to get. Because now, actually, it puts more of an emphasis on what happens in the group stage, because if you get a really nice draw, you're almost through at that point in time. Both teams in the upper bracket final will already be there.
Yeah, that's true. Harry, you've casted a lot of the qualifiers that have come into this, and you've seen some of these teams play. Of the 8 teams we've got here, who stands out for you? Who are the top 2 that people that aren't familiar with European Counter-Strike, who should they be looking out for?
I would definitely argue Big or Envy. I feel like that's kind of the mutually agreed one. I think iGame are a good potential to kind of come in and perhaps cause some upsets. They're the ones that I feel like everyone's kind of pinning as being perhaps that team that aren't quite as established as everyone else, but they've been doing some serious work, and from seeing them play, I can tell you that they have got a lot of talent within that roster. But yeah, I would have to say Big or Envy are probably my favorite too. And one of the matchups that we have coming up later on today, the game versus Kingwin between Big and Kingwin, is going to be really interesting, because if we looked at that, maybe late 2016, early 2017. You would have expected Kingwin to do phenomenally well, but Kingwin have had just such a fall from grace, and it's been abysmal that now I'd say they're one of the least favourites to even make it out the group stage.
Duncan?
Yeah, I really feel like, unfortunately, the two teams that when I was doing my research, I was trying to see who can make it. The funny thing is, you look at the Kingwin team, a bunch of those players have been in majors, they've been at kind of the tier 2 level doing all right, but it's all fallen apart for them. They really have done kind of a Virtus Pro, but on the lower level. So I kind of feel like they don't have a whole lot of chances. The other teams here are a lot more established. And I think like the ex-Fnatic Academy Ballistics team, I don't really feel them to get out either. So for me, the other teams all have some varying degree of chance, but I think those teams have a lot to prove. Because even online and against the lesser competition, they haven't really shown us a lot recently.
One of the other teams obviously in there as well is Team Dignitas, who ordinarily you would look at and go, they've got great financial clout, they've got the 76ers behind them, they're a legendary team in esports. And then you look at them on paper and you go, well, these have got top-class players.
Sure, yeah.
Fox is in here, Jacob's in here, Rubinio's in here. These guys have played not only at the top level, they've played at the very highest level, won tournaments as well. Why are they not featuring in the teams amongst the favourites?
I mean, obviously, you have to look at the roster moves, the fact that they would have had some other famous players in there, Makalele, etc. So they tried this new lineup, and the first lineup initially they had was a nightmare. That didn't work at all. Part of it, as well, as they were switching around the roles. So, for example, Rubino, one of the best support players, was playing as an entry fragger. So they had to completely rehaul it, get in Tensky, you remember the old Dignitas player, getting Croman. And so this lineup has been better, but now they've just got a fresh team. And so actually, that's what I feel is their weakness coming to this one, because these other teams at this level have actually already been to LANs. You see the Pentas of the world, Big, almost everyone's going to LAN. So for their first LAN, this is a tall ask, I think.
Yeah, qualifiers as well. Open qualifier 1, open qualifier 2, open qualifier 3, finally get in. Then they've got to play in the closed qualifier. They'll have played in 5 qualifiers if they get to the major.
Yeah, they've had a kind of a road riddled with problems, and I feel like their one kind of real victory. Aside from just getting here, was I think when they beat out Space Soldiers, who a lot of people did predict to make it this far, and that was a real upset.
You mean you did?
I did, but I feel like that was kind of shared between that sentiment shared between a lot of people.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. You're probably right. We are going to move on because I'm hearing that the teams are getting themselves ready. So why don't we show you Group A and exactly how it looks on paper. We've got this opening matchup to come, of course, but here's how it pans out the road to the final 3 spots. EnVy versus Ballistics and Big versus Kingwin. Those are the opening 2 matches. We're going to talk about our opening match of the day, EnVy versus Ballistics. And why don't we start with the French team? This shuffle happens periodically, Duncan. You've witnessed several of these now. Supposedly, we were going to get 2 super teams out of this when it all shook out.
Yeah.
Hopefully 1, but the French were hoping we'd get 2, an EnVyUs and a G2. In your opinion, has that worked this time round?
No, there's been 3 French shuffles, and the last 2 have been where one team just took the players they wanted, and they said, you have whoever's left over. And unfortunately, this team actually didn't even maximize the potential, because there was a lot of rumors within the French scene, actually, that, for example, Existence would be part of this team, or they'd go the other way to LDLC, and you'd kind of get all the veterans back together, and at least you'd say, hey, we've got everyone else who's a big name. And so that didn't happen. Actually, none of the lineups that everyone wanted after that happened, and they ended up with this weird kind of happenstance one where you've got some big names in this team, but do they fit together? That's the big problem, I feel like, when you're left with players that are over. You didn't handpick that guy to play a specific role. He's just kind of figuring out, right, I play this role, you play this role. And they have looked like that as a team, because when you see the names they have in their team, you think they shouldn't even be at minors. They should be at least like a top 10 team, maybe. Yep. But aside from that little run they had in the group stage at Pro League recently, they haven't really looked like a team that's actually the sum of those names. They've still been figuring themselves out and what the identity is. Yeah,
still early days, of course, Harry. And through close qualifiers, 1 or 3 look pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that, that's why I think coming into this, they are one of the favourites really to make it out. As Duncan was saying, that they're a team that have got a lot of experience individually. Whether or not that's kind of gelling well fantastically is still kind of yet to be decided. I think this is going to be a good test of that, playing up against teams who can hold their own and have got a lot of experience behind them as well. But I have to agree. It was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, what was left, and then just putting it into a roster. I was kind of thinking they weren't really destined for 2 super teams, and even if you remember, G2 never really even started off so superbly when they did come
around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they have managed to pick things up. I'm hoping EnVy can kind of go down a similar path there, but that's still kind of yet to be decided. They have had some issues, and I think they've been doing well at kind of ironing out a lot of the problems. It's just there's still a lot left to be decided.
Okay, and in terms of their opponents, Ballistics today, and we'll take a look at their lineup in just a moment. It's an interesting road for these boys. They weren't really anywhere in 2016, and then just towards the end of the year and the start of 2017 started to look like a team that might just deliver on the promise of being an academy team.
Yeah, well, school's out for the summer, Paul, so they are no longer in any way an academy team. I'll just, again, reiterate that. So, yeah, the thing about this team is, this is one where, unfortunately, in Sweden, even with a lot of the Swedish teams not doing well, there really is the established 4. It is NIP, Fnatic, it's obviously got Epsilon in there. Who am I forgetting? Godsent. So once you get beyond that, though, not a lot of people know the names. Well, from Denmark, but yeah, never mind.
Scandinavia.
True. So this team, though, the most notable players to me, you did have Pleasant actually did get to stand in for the real Fnatic. Obviously, we saw him playing when Olaf Meister was out. They had that kind of period where they tried him out. And then the other player actually is this guy, I think he's on camera now, Jaywalking Z, and he was at the ESEA Global Challenge, I remember last year. This kind of just, unfortunately, this wasn't such a great moment for him as much as a bad moment for Sean Gares, which is Sean Gares' Echo Fox team went to that tournament. They looked like they were very much overqualified, and he single-handedly destroyed them, basically. So that was when he's playing for the team Crowns. So there's a few players in there have a little bit of pedigree. The problem they have is it kind of speaks to how actually strong the kind of tier 3 is, as it were, in Europe, and especially the online qualifiers, that you don't see them at LANs, really. They don't really get through those kind of nightmare qualifiers.
Yeah, we saw him earlier on at DreamHack Leipzig, I think in January. Did okay, didn't do as well as perhaps people thought they would do. But how do you assess their chances here in an 8-team LAN?
Yeah, I think it's kind of awkward for them. Like Duncan was saying once again. One of the players I do think could try and break things up is JZ Walking. I think he's done some phenomenal stuff. But one of the events I was at recently, the GeForce Cup, they played in, and they went out on the first day. It was a very underwhelming performance. They weren't happy with it, and they said there was a lot there they had to change. I just hope that they did get around to fixing some of the issues they encountered, because they have got players in there I think have potential and could do well. It's just based on kind of recent performances and how we've seen them do. They have been riddled with these issues, and JZ Walking being one of the players who could try and turn that around. Pleasant as well. I think they're the 2 that we need to be keeping an eye on. The 2 who could make all that difference. It's just if their performance was similar to how it was at their most recent event, which was that GeForce Cup, then I really don't see them doing that well here.
On the other hand, Duncan, if they're playing like they were at China towards the end of 2016 when they won nearly 72,000 in the China Cup, they also finished second to Thailand recently in the China Cup as well. And their closed qualifiers isn't disastrous. When you go through the list, it's LDLC, they won 16-12, they lost to Penta 16-11, lost to Big 16-14, but then they beat Kingwin and Heroic on the way to getting here. So they've got potential in this team.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Like, of all the teams that they're going to play, this is probably not the one where you're going to see that, because people like RPK, they've played like 300 lands or something, you know. They've really got all the experience behind them. And if anything, they're actually coming into this, I think, bearing in mind they have been in such a bad patch for EnVyUs, they're not coming in thinking, oh, we're the clear favourite to win the whole minor, it's easy, you know. I think they realise, like, you know, you've got to put your hard hat on and go to work. So I actually think maybe the other teams are the ones that the Ballistics guys could have a chance against. I feel like there's just too much quality in the EnVyUs team.
Right. And where is that quality going to come from? What in terms of what players are you looking for? And I know that you're upset the existence isn't in the team.
I'm very glad he is, actually, after some of the results they've had, quite frankly. You know.
The good news is you get to see your old mate here.
Yeah, he is in one of the teams, indeed. Yeah, no, I mean, you've got to start with Scream. I mean, he of all the people in that French shuffle who was the most hard done by, it's clearly Scream, because he's the guy where he absolutely could have been in the super team. If you just listed players, you know, 1 to 5, he'd be in your top 5. But again, it's about which role you play. So I think for this kind of a tournament, he's very overqualified. You know, he could absolutely be an MVP type player here. Admittedly, he hasn't actually fit into the EnVyUs lineup that well. Like, even when they had this good run in Dallas, he was kind of just chilling out. You know, he would have like 9 kills in their great win over SK Gaming. So I feel like maybe he still hasn't found his role within the team, because obviously Happy is a very different kind of in-game leader than the type that he's kind of played with. So there's still a bit of a disconnect there. I think actually the other guy I have my eye on is actually the young guy, though, XMS. He's the guy who was playing for Existence's team, and actually Existence thought he was going to keep hold of him after that shuffle. And that was kind of the big shock, is that he went over to the EnVyUs team, and I think he's kind of thrived there, actually. Even though there's all these other big names around him, he's been doing pretty well, and he was a big catalyst, I thought, for the results they had in Dallas.
Harry, what about Sixer? He's had it's a strange career so far in Global Offensive. He was a good player at 1.6, but since he's moved to CSGO, he's had a lot of criticism early on, particularly, but lately it seems in the last 6 months he's been much better.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when they kind of brought him into I think it was the old EnVy lineup, and he originally kind of existed as a bit of a support player.
Yeah, and standing, I think, as well.
I mean, I think he did a lot of good there within that roster, but now he's kind of sometimes balancing, you know, between kind of that support role, and then occasionally you find him on the AWP as well. And while he's good at it, I do think, you know, he needs to kind of find a more defined role for himself. But that said, as you said, I mean, he was criticized a lot early on, and I think that's because he never really brought a lot of that fragging power in, because he did kind of fall into that more supporting role within the team. And, you know, recently I think a lot of the praise is just because, you know, he's been getting those numbers up. He hasn't kind of fallen as comfortably back into the support role, and you know, he definitely can't within EnVy. He's not kind of surrounded by the same caliber of players as he was originally. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think he's someone that we could potentially be keeping an eye on, but for me it's going to be RPK or XMS. I think RPK is a very talented player. He's got a load of experience under his belt, and you know, very consistent as well, I think, for the most part. That's something that you kind of look to him for. Maybe, you know, one of the kind of performances of someone like Scream, who one game you can find right up at the top of the board, only headshots. But yeah, no, I think it's got to be those two for me. Okay,
I'm hearing that the map vetoes are incoming, so let's switch our attention to that. Trained twice during the closed qualifiers. This time round, not going to be used, though. Ballistics see that as a bit of a threat. So we're going to end up on Cash, Duncan.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a surprise to me, actually, because there's a couple of maps that are kind of shared, like both teams like Cobblestone, for example. I thought maybe you just go ahead and agree to play that. Inferno's kind of in the middle of the map pool for both again. You know, EnVyUs certainly likes Inferno. I thought we'd usually end up in scenario like that. Either you agree to play one or you go to the middle. Cash is a bit of a weird one, because actually it's not one that recently has been fantastic for EnVyUs offline or online. So it's not something that's been a strong map. Like, they've lost every time they played it on LAN. But it is a classic map for them. Like, all the Happy teams usually like that. It is a French map. So to me, I think the reason why you go to Cash is, especially with No Dust 2, it's considered the skill map in the pool, you know? So if you think you've got the better players, and I think you do in this particular matchup, maybe you just go to that in that particular sense, you know, and just figure you're just going to frag them.
Ballistics didn't play this during the closed qualifier. They wanted it out. They vetoed it out, but I guess there's bigger threats for them this time round.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the issues with Fnatic Academy or Ballistics map pool is that it's incredibly shallow, right? The second you get a couple of bans out the way, then they do find themselves in trouble. And I feel like that's why coming into this with, you know, the best of ones to kick things off, especially being up against EnVy, they were kind of, you know, screwed from the offset almost. And I mean, you know, Cash isn't a terrible map for them. It's one that they opt to play a fair bit. It's just one that they haven't had a lot of success on. So it's kind of weird. It's a map that they're trying to do well on. It's just that they haven't really found a lot of success. It's not an awful map, though, for playing against EnVy. As Duncan was saying, it's one that they haven't been opting to play all that much lately, but it is a classic EnVyUs map, and that's something that they're going to have to watch out for.
Heavy favourites after that map choice?
I mean, it's one of the better maps for Fnatic Academy. Now Ballistics. I'm going to just keep doing it like that, you know. So it seems, oh, wait, that's weird. Did he forget the name? No, didn't. They might have forgot their names. So No, I think it gives them a little bit of a puncher's chance, especially because it is the skill map. So if someone goes crazy, you got a chance. The problem is, you think of some of the players, Happy, obviously a good example, Scream. These are players who've been very good on this map in recent years. And so I think you've got to have a lot of answers for them, or you're just not going to be going far.
Yeah. We didn't talk about Happy too much of all the players.
It's the way I like it. You know? Don't have to talk about him anymore, mate. I guess I do now, because now I'm doing the minors. You know, I've slid down myself, mate. I've joined him down there.
Damn.
I met him at the bottom.
Damn.
Now I'm here with you guys.
Yeah.
Don't know what he's thinking, you know. I mean, red hair and beards, that's out, mate. That is out.
Is that done?
Yeah, I noticed that you made
It's kind
the
of like
change.
2013 or something.
That's out, mate.
Yeah?
I thought I'd be the young-looking one on this desk.
You need to work on that, Harry.
No, I know. But that's the thing, with all the coats you always seem to be wearing, surely your face is more chilled now. Surely you notice the breeze a bit more inside your flat or wherever.
Yeah, man, it's warm here, isn't it? I'm in Bucharest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, I am sweating a bit, so yeah. No, that's a good observation. I'll make sure it's gone in time for the next one.
You told me that being on the desk would be a 3-4 out of 10, Harry, and I have to say right now it's a little bit higher than that.
I thought you were going to say a little bit lower. I thought I was about to get completely ruined.
You did yourself bad on that, but I wouldn't necessarily rank the jabs at Thorin that well yet.
Oh no,
I think you need to work on those.
I need to yeah.
What you need to do is, when you're on the desk, rebrand yourself as Harry Ballistics, but only when you're on the desk. And when you cast, you can just be your normal self.
Yeah, no,
that's my move.
See, in amongst all the notes, I actually tried to come up with a preset list of things to counter Thorin's eventual jabs with.
See, that's where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Preset list.
No,
can't
I
do
know.
it.
You can't.
No,
Up against this man.
Ad lib.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Doing your preparation for events, rookie mistake, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll get used to it.
What's he done?
He'll get jaded.
Yeah, we'll have to train him up on this stuff. As you can see, the teams are getting themselves ready. Hopefully our commentary team are ready shortly as well. Why don't we, can we bring them in? Can we have a chat with them this morning? Are they awake in the commentary booth at all? Apparently not quite yet, anyway. But hopefully we'll bring them in, get their views on this game ahead before we send it over to them fully. Just while we're waiting for them to come in, Duncan, final predictions. Is this an Envy game for you?
Yeah, I mean, I actually do think that Cash does share a quality with Dust too, in as much as, like, in general, you're not really just going to run away with one half and go, like, 13 rounds. So I would say that you can get some rounds if you're the Ballistics guys, but I expect EnVyUs to win this one.
Harry, same?
Yeah, I'm going to have to reside in the same boat. I think Envy can easily kind of run away with this one. Fnatic Academy, I think, will be able to do something, but Ballistics. I just, do
we need a swear jar? Is that what we need? Do we need a Fnatic Academy jar?
Yeah.
We're going to have to put, because it could make a lot of money for charity.
It's all right. We'll only have to talk about it for today.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. Let's bring in our commentary team now, because apparently we can connect with them. Good morning, gents.
Hello, lads. Hello.
How you doing?
We've got one observation here.
Yeah.
It's Harry's first time on the desk, right? He's there with you.
Yeah.
And look at the side of the microphone. Paul, have a look. What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
I wasn't going to say
didn't
anything.
even-
Rookie mistakes.
What's
Yeah,
he
that
doing?
is a rookie error.
What is that?
What we should do, guys, if you're in agreement, is we should do like live feedback.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. That's
So his
perfect.
We would
jabs
definitely
aren't
need a
good.
swear jar for that.
He's got his microphone on the wrong side.
Yeah, this is good, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's all
red
a
hair,
learning
red
curve.
beards are out. He's not doing very well this morning, I guess. Poor Harry. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. We're still a bit wrecked from the American minor. I woke up at 2 a.m. this morning, so feeling pretty fresh. Matt's a little bit better than that, I think.
Well, I don't
like
think
4
so,
a.m.
because I smelt his T-shirt.
Oh, come on now. Listen, I told you. I thought I picked up a clean one. It turns out it's not, okay?
No.
But the good
I
news
feel
is...
for Henry this morning.
Exactly. He's the one that has to sit next to me, not you. So you should be thankful for that, at least.
All right, good job. And we'll speak to you after the game. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Well, Matthew, it is going to be the first game of the day. Ballistics. We have to remember we call them that.
Yep, that's fine. I can try to remember.
Up against EnVyUs. I guess a bit of a mismatch on paper. EnVyUs definitely pushing for like the top 10 of the scene right now. They've shown themselves to be very good at the last few events. Yeah. I think they got top 4 at the last. So that's
Dallas,
right? So that's not bad at all. That was actually really cool. Fnatic Academy.
Top 6, to be fair, because the two direct buys to the semi, they played a quarterfinal.
But yeah, still, like for them, I think that it's getting better and better. The stars are starting to align with them. Sixer, I like his role within the team now. The guy's touched on it. I think he's actually surprised me. I kind of called him out at the start when he became the full-time AWP. I didn't think he'd be good enough for that particular role.
He's got Kenny's up, so obviously.
Well, that's the thing, right? We didn't think about that. And yeah, I think he's looking really good right now. And same goes for XMS as well. A player that no one really cared about when he joined the lineup. They didn't think much for it, and obviously came from LDLC. And he's looked very good, I think. He's almost been one of the absolute stars for the team, like beneath Scream, and I think that's great. Cash for this as well, I think this makes sense for them. every player on this team is going to be outskilling Ballistics, I would say. They have got a couple of stars there, like JT Walkins comes to mind as well. But I think Cash is a nice, safe bet. Don't have to be too tactical. First game of the day, see if you can get Scream warmed up and just let him run around the AK-47. Obviously happy. It's one of his classic backstab maps for you. He's very good at patrolling middle and having the timings to shut teams down. I feel like this will be quite a convincing game for them. If they lose a pistol and a couple of maybe sloppy rounds against pistols and stuff like that, who knows what could happen. But best of one, they should be running away with this pretty comfortably. I would say like a 16, sort of 7-8 scoreline.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I think Ballistics, yeah, definitely outskilled against EnVy. There's no question about that. I mean, the two guys on screen have more experience than anyone on the Ballistic side. Even if you put them all together, there's probably more premier level experience than just Scream alone, to be fair. But I'm not ruling out Ballistics of picking up a few wins maybe in the group, just trying to get some upsets in. I think that's the cool thing with the minors is that the European one has some high-level teams. Obviously, EnVy, by the way, in this situation have to play the minor due to the roster shuffle. They had no core players remaining from being in the last major and therefore couldn't go directly to the qualifier. They essentially start out as a new lineup.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's fairly even across the board. And I think that much like the NA qualifier, there's a chance that we could get a surprise team into our top 4.
I think so. Like it's going to be an interesting event. The favorite thing for me from the NA minors, especially, was just seeing some of the breakout performances, some of the great names we'd never seen before.
Cello.
Cello, Yell from Lumosity as well. Just an Ethan, a player that was never on my radar, to see how good he could play. Just that's what's so good about his minors, right? Even if your team doesn't do very well, if you can showcase yourself as a player, I think it's still worth coming, right? And still, if you don't place highly in the tournament, just like some of the Pain guys, you said Cello, didn't make it out of the stages, but he looked great.
Yeah, well, that's the other aspect of it. It's more of a chance to showcase yourself internationally, I think, because Ethan, for example, has been talked about in the NA scene for a while, but obviously I've been removed from the NA scene for so long that I'd only heard whisperings of it, and I hadn't seen it firsthand. Now I've got to. Cello, probably well-known in Brazil. Pain's probably the best team that still resides in Brazil. Obviously, Luminosity, Immortals, and SK are all in North America right now. So for Pain, I think Cello's probably one of the top players in that country, and people probably all know who he is there.
It'll probably be like the next in the radar to be picked up if and when, you know?
Yeah.
Which is quite cool. Anyway, let's get into this one, shall we? It's going to be EnVyUs on the T side of Cash. We expect quite a loose and fast pace from them. 4 sets of armor, 6er with a smoke, and 2 flashbangs. And for now, nothing too aggressive, just feeding out towards Squeaky Door. Of course, that's Happy by himself. The rest of the players in a default formation. RPK working towards the A storage. Just trying to bait out some utility here. Work out of is an A retake from the CTs. We've got Plessin and JC Walkins towards Quad and MBK. So they are in the bomb site, ready and waiting.
Plessin, we didn't mention him directly. They did on the desk, but obviously had his time in Fnatic's main team briefly during the Olaf injury.
Yeah, that revolving door period.
Yeah, that's right. So boost in mid, slow pace from a pistol round on Cash. We've seen a mixture of different pistol rounds this week. A lot of B rushes, to be fair, which is pretty standard. We've seen a lot of teams actually playing more stacked defense inside the A side and on CT as well, which we've got right now. We've got 2 players over toward Quad. We just talked about that. So not so much going for the retake, even though they are playing the 1-kit standard setup.
We've got Happy boosted up in middle, watching the vents, and actually Golden opening things up. That's a lovely shot by him. XMS will chime in, though. 2 Glock entries there. That should be the round, to be fair. That's really nice from him. But Happy does go down. Will be a 3-on-3. Bomb planted. The retake begins. CTs have not got a kit, and they'll be coming from vents, storage, and CT spawn as well. But a great setup from EnVyUs, ready and waiting.
XMS has Scream in front of them. They're both going to watch the vent for now. Plessin looks like he wants to go through that way. Meanwhile, though, Chris is inside of A main. Plessin hits the first shot. Easy for Scream to back off and focus just on B main.
Okay.
This is actually going to pick up that kill. So Sixer staying alive behind the box is XMS, but Sixer on top of the site had to make sure he was covered off and not in the open when they wrapped around from headshot. Works out well. Team EnVyUs pick up the first round.
Yeah.
And armor was the investment plus a kit. What's the investment on the second round going to be from the CTs? I imagine some of these, especially in a one-sided matchup, so they are going to force pistols, but I imagine they'll stay away from...
No, I was about to say, I think you're absolutely right. It's a best of one. You're the underdogs here. Why throw your money into disarray before the tournament even starts? I think this makes a lot of sense. Just get the upgraded pistols, no armor required. And this is something we've talked about so much in the last few events. So this does kind of work out for them. It means they go to that first gun round, they'll have the rifles, they'll have AWPs and grenades, defuse kits, and they can't be overwhelmed. EnVyUs will not a single rifle here. So this is actually the correct call from Ballistics, right? Because they'll probably lose this round, sure, but if they go into the first gun round and EnVyUs go for that sort of bonus mentality, they're going to have SMGs. You're going to have the head armor, and you'll have rifles to actually fend them off. So it's better in the long run, this sort of purchase, I think.
Yeah, no need to risk it early. Exactly the thought. Oh, dinked him, actually. Did Happy while blinded up. or rather JZ, excuse me, onto Happy Roll blinded up. It's RPK that goes down. It's going to be Plessin inside of the smoke that wants to try and surprise them by popping through at Fork. Backs off, thinks better of it, but they've conceded the bomb plant. Still in a 4 versus 4, despite all of the intense action with utility, but it's leveled out now. Button's done well to pick up a second kill onto Scream. So without the armor, this is good positioning. Curse has lost track of him, though. If he went straight over the top, he may have found the kill onto Sixer, but it's still going to be the SMG picked up from Batunen, and now it's Sixer that has to turn back around. They're side by side. They play it together. No investment. They still find the round. No kit. Do they have time? I think they do. Yep, yes, Golden's on it.
Wow, how good is that? You don't even get the armor. He didn't even fully commit to the round, and he's still getting the victory there. So that's a bit sloppy from EnVyUs, I have to say. They're fully committing to a full A execution. They haven't done a default at the start. They haven't baited out utility. They haven't seen if there's a particular stack in an area. It looked quite messy. Lots of smoke going down and team flashes coming in. Not really efficient trades there as well. It just seemed like it was one of those tactics. They called at the start, maybe getting a bit ahead of themselves to think, okay, it's Ballistics, we'll just run over them. If they just slowed it right down, played it like a full default at the start, just to get some information, get that first pick. That's normally the first objective for me as an in-game leader. You want to boost someone up, use the rifles at the start. They didn't have a single rifle there. That's really weird buy from them on the T side. CT side, you can normally get away with 5 UMPs if you really want to go down that path and have the extra utility. But T side, I think you need at least 1 AK-47, ideally 2. So they'll be forced buying themselves. So French teams known to be very good in these particular scenarios. Tech-9s, PT-50 for RPK, and this will be a B execution as well. Expect smokes all over the bomb site, Molotovs there as well, flashbangs going in. And in terms of the CT setup, 2 waiting for them. They have got a mixture of M4s and UMPs. CT should be fine here. Always difficult against these French teams, though.
Surprised not more of a rotation from middle, given that they saw 3 Molotovs thrown on B. Now they enter in Golden, good position, but watch to his right. I'm not sure he was aware that RPK had gotten that far. There was just too many for him, but the rotations are swift. You can see the T's, obviously, with 2 bomb plants as well. They went for armor, which the CTs didn't do. Ballistics didn't do when they picked up their round. But a good win. Convincing. Keep the guns. Not bad.
Yeah, that was a full commitment there from EnVyUs. Ballistics, though, holding them off, denying the plant, and this should be the full eco now. There are some upgraded pistols now for EnVyUs, but with that full B execution once again, another set piece off the bat. Didn't work the picks. I think that's going to be the calling card. That's what the go-to should be. Allow the Deagles to get boosted up and find the pitch. You've got superior aim across the board here. That is running in with tactics and getting mowed down with the crossfires and can't really get much done. It's round number 4. Deagles, PD-50s, no armor, no nades. And here we go, the boost up. They'll probably find the first pick here. XMS very good with the Desert Eagle. Like I said, this is what they should be doing in the previous round. Is use that aim to your advantage.
1 shot, 1 kill from Scream. Golden pushed up with the MP9 of all weapons, no armor, so he should be okay. Goes to the pistol for range, so it's a straight fight between RPK. I think he'll actually keeps going on. I was going to say, I think he'll back away on this, but now that he's got him tagged up, he thinks he can just spray him down with the MP9. He's a bit of an awkward exchange, to be fair. I've got Patin to come out and try and help out. 7 HP, he's done. RPK's gone. They eventually get there.
Eventually, definitely. The bomb's over towards the A side of the map. No smokes or flashbangs to get in. They're hoping this player towards middle, which is XMS, can maybe cause a distraction, and then they can fully commit to the A site. We'll see if it works out. Plessin, he's towards quad, and the final commitment should be coming in momentarily.
JZ, baby, takes down Scream. Utility, but walking up, XMS picking up the M4. He's definitely going to have to pull Plessin's attention. He's done so with the SMG. He gets all 3. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward, yeah. They lost their first pick, but recovered it, and now we get into the first gun round here. I'm interested to see if an AWP comes out. We did see
glass
a few
cannon
saved weapons from Ballistics there. We've got, is this a timeout? Something's going on. No, we're fine. I saw something in the chat going on. People joining, spectators, I assume that's their coach.
Coach, probably, yeah. Nems?
Yeah. Nems. Z for the Ballistics coach? I'm not sure. I haven't casted this team before.
Definitely would be Ballistics.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It wouldn't be Envy, so if it's a coach, it's
yeah.
Ballistics.
Well, JZ Walkins, Alper, of course, brings out that weapon. Baton, go with? Baton?
Nah, it's not French. They're Swedish.
Yeah. He's got the UMP in hand.
So I was thinking Sixer could have gone for the glass cannon, but it's probably not the best call on Cash.
He's a very proficient rifler as well. I think it's better to have the armor and the utility as well. Cash, you do not need the AWP. It's great to have it for opening picks, but it's actually better as when you're actually entering the bomb sites and stay as a 5-man unit to get the trades of the AK-47, so that's not a problem.
Got a crouch Sixer. Happy once up.
Of course he does.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They've already Molotoved off the vent side of B. No boost in position. Batten's on the other side of it, but won't be able to get boosted, obviously, because Golden's further back in the site. Scream. He's got Batten locked in toward Checkers as well, because if he goes back to the site, he's got to cross the crosshair at some point in time. And RPK's out mid. Rotation off of... Ooh, was that misthrown? No, it bounced it out. Looked like it bounced back out. Good find from JZ, though. I was going to say they've given up mid, so they've got to watch highway. No one inside of Z, no one at white box. So the AWP tasked from behind quad to watch all the way down, and Plesson's actually wrapped back in. Good kill from him from behind the forklift, having confidence not to watch A main for a second, and Scream walks directly into a trap. It's Baton behind him. They go back over to B because they've lost A. It's Happy instead, but 13 HP. He's the only one left. And he's got to try through the smoke to sneak in on them. Can't quite do it.
I'm sorry, but this is quite poor from EnVyUs. The strategic approach they've got right now is just not good enough. They're getting mid-control, sure. Most teams now, when they go towards highway, they're using that smoke at the top of highway to stop that very thing happening to them. There's an AWP at quad. That's one of the most standard setups we've got in the game right now. You leave mid open as a CT side. You have the AWP quad watching towards highway just to pick off any players there. They run around one by one, give them a couple of kills. They go back towards being sure Happy gets a couple, but it doesn't win them around. That's why we're doing that smoke at the top of highway, which means you can take the vision away from the CTs, force a reaction out of them, or at least get up towards highway. You can actually try and get the pick yourself. Just being exposed like that was very risky, and obviously Ballistics loving this right now. It's a best of one, and they got 4-1 up. EnVyUs on the ropes, and you can see they've taken a tactical pause here. Oh, well, that actually might be technical. I can see an admin being called over. But now the money for EnVyUs, it's about 3K per player. No one can really buy into this one. They're a 4th stage loss bonus after winning the pistol. So, in terms of the buy, they could partially buy this one, or Tech9's body armor, some smokes and stuff. They get $3,400 on top of this. Not looking great. RPK and 1 for 5 right now. Scream. Happy 3 kills, 2 for 6, 5 for XMS. So XMS was that 4K round in the pistol. Certainly padded his stats, but should be another easy rounder for Ballistics. I say easy with bated breath. We do know what kind of damage a team like EnVyUs can cause with pistols.
I think part of this, Ballistics is being a lot more disciplined than I think EnVyUs is ready for.
I think they've looked sloppy so far. They don't look like a top team whatsoever. It looks
Envy,
like
you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but I think part of it is the lack of execution, but maybe because they're playing so passive and not using utility on entry, that maybe they were expecting more pushes, more sloppy play from Ballistics that's not really showing up.
I think that they're too committed to the start, saying, let's do this tactic. Instead of just working the pick like we saw them do with the Deagles, let's get that first pick, then go to the execution. This looks quite poor right now. It's a grenade from Golden. That caused a lot of damage.
Oh, that's
better.
Yeah. RPK tries to go around the smoke, beat them as they get aggressive, but they spray it down. Scream and Happy are both in mid to high 30s HP. Mid to high 30s, Henry. That's how old you are, isn't it?
Not quite.
Baton's going to take down XMS. Pretty straightforward again this round. I don't think they're even... Okay, I was going to say they're not going to get a kill, but Scream always has accuracy up his sleeve somewhere. Sorry, I forgot you're only 34.
33.
Oh, okay.
But round number 7. So another buy for EnVyUs here. That was just the pistols. Golden finding a few kills there through the smoke. Looking quite comfortable. Sixer does bring out the AWP this time. Has enough of the armor. Hasn't purchased it just yet. $1,000 in reserve. Maybe he's waiting to see if he needed grenades for a specific strategy. I'm not sure. But 5-1 Ballistics. This is the round you go aggressive, in my opinion. You're pushing it towards A main. Just as EnVyUs money starting to stabilize, and they're going to be going for a slower pace tactic. I think you're going for that first push. But actually, they're going for the fast boost middle. 3 is going straight up there. They have been gifted mid control a few times, but Karas finds 2 frags. Very nice stuff from him.
We've got a few changes on our overlay this week.
Down.
That is massive. Look at the way it fell. It didn't even stay up there. They have to fight. Scream has to win the battle. He can't.
What a mess.
Yeah, this is quite sloppy. Sixer saved the op already. Minute 26. Good luck.
If we can see that from Karas' POV in the interim of this round, that'd be nice. I want to see how under pressure he was. How does he get 3 in total? That's nuts. That was those fast boost tactics, they should work. We got the AKs as well. He should not be finding 3 frags. There's no assist there as well. That was all Karas. I think he was towards the sandbags area. Bomb down, round over. And take an absolute miracle now for EnVyUs to do anything with this.
So just to finish, I was going to say, we've got a few changes. We've got the kills updated by the name on the middle now, which is kind of nice.
Oh,
a few more statistics as well as their utility there. And the sponsors moved. So it's a little cleaner. I like it. Small improvements every time.
Sixer does get 1 return.
Good luck, though.
Yeah, that bomb's still down. The CTs with smokes, flashbangs, and HE still. I don't really see what they can do here. But Golden, he's aware this could be a possibility. That smoke comes down. The bomb's still in mid, though, so they take a miracle.
Boy, they would...
going to say he's a bit overzealous there, but gets away with it. Gets those frags. Well, EnVyUs, I want to see what this... Before I make my comment, I want to see how he held that push from middles. It looked quite successful. 3 towards mid. They know mid's been open for Ballistics, so how did they get shut down by just M4s? That was the main question. Maybe we won't be able to catch it, but that shouldn't be that easy for the CTs. He didn't even drop an incendiary there, I don't think. Just mowed them down with the M4 itself. Didn't sound like a full commitment on the spray. Maybe they just couldn't find the aim. We'll be able to dissect that in the post-game. I'm not sure. Anyway, EnVyUs now still the maximum loss bonus. No bomb in the previous round. 3 AKs, Tech 9s. A little bit of utility. It looks like a fast A push here. CTs were considering getting towards Squeaky Door, but won't be connecting just yet. That's a decent grenade. Does reasonable damage to RPK. And now they've got the setup as JZ Walkins pushes towards B storage. They know it's going to be an A-sided attack. They should be able to hold this off, but it could get dicey.
Golden behind the box. Blinding gets his vision back in time to spray take bomb as well. But he's got to watch out. He looks the wrong direction. Thankfully, a flash comes through at exactly the wrong time from the terrace. Blinds up XMS, and Golden's able to find his second kill. And he gets lost in the smoke. Scream will clothesline him. Bomb is now grabbable, and they've got the advantage. But look at this. Batten's rotated around so quickly. He hears the player as well running back from Squeaky, so he knows there's 2 in the site, 1 that's not. And he's going to walk in, miss spray. He had a chance to spray them both down from behind. He misses it. Ooh. And the round's given away on that alone. Envy, I think, got a little bit lucky, all things considered.
Yeah, a full commitment with the spray wasn't the prettiest, and I don't think he would have won the round regardless. I think there was a refrag ready and waiting for him, but still, that kill would have been valuable. EnVyUs do claw one back just about after losing 5 rounds in a row. I beg your pardon, 6. And you go for the simple execution there. That was very standard. Go as fast as you can, couple of smokes down, run through. Second line's an AK-47. Need to be careful now, though. They won't be completely broken if they lose this round, but won't be far away from it. Walkers back on the LVP, back towards B, and it's fast. Boost up once again. It'll be Golden to find the first frag, and we get some refrags coming in. It's going to be an equal situation, 3-on-3. Not the cleanest. Scream finds both kills. They have been gifted mid-control. The 3-on-3 certainly does favour the T's at this point.
They're going to push no flash. Happy, right position, right time. Blessing a 3 versus 3. That's very aggressive. It's going to cost them. Happy smokes off site as well. Bomb's out middle, though, so it's smoked off backside quad. He can sit comfortably, but they've got to watch Truck on the cross because there's no smoke that direction. And there is an AWP, but a good timed flash. Very good timed. Just barely Sixer gets inside of the smoke.
Yeah, this should be absolutely fine at this point. Silver Molotov in the flashbang, Scream's patrolling in middle. So a player coming out connector, he's almost certainly done for. There he goes. He goes down. JZ Walking gets 1, but he's on 8 HP. I don't see a world where the team's face before he touches the bomb. That's a nice shot. Now he knows the Scream is as well.
Goes up for it. 8 HP. I would have potentially tried that pop flash. Sake of getting Scream to look away. So they'll salvage the round. They go 3 now, which is 2 in a row. So they avoid the reset potential. And they've got the CTs within 1 of being broken after this buy. So very important round still for Envy because their money isn't fully established yet.
Yeah,
what was it, 2 surviving and then 1 surviving? So they're going to be relatively tight.
Yeah, clutching the straws a few of them. They've distributed the wealth accordingly. They've managed to drop weapons. Everyone's got AKs once again. No AWP. That's good news with Golden. He's got the AWP this time. He must have had a good spawn, but we'll see what he decides to do. It will be JZ Walkins this time. He looks in towards B. Doesn't push it. But once again, towards A we go. Happy will be trying to ascertain some information there from the CTs. Doesn't actually get too much for it. Decides to pull back. Won't boost this time either. It's more of a default here. Over mid-control, CTs are going to be there, but Karas decides to pull back. Just that white box for now, just trying to get intel and stop them maybe pushing towards that vent position. Bomb still down in mid-warehouse.
He's going to go in and do damage to RPK, or is it going to be thrown over the top, or is it going to be held? He's not even going to throw it at all, Henry.
There is still 4 their smokes right now. Happy in his classic position at Squeaky Door. Likes to try and work a frag. He can be left there by himself as well. A lot of in-game leaders like to do that.
RPK would have seen on that flash, he would have seen Plessin coming up highway, so they'll know that there's at least 1 toward Toxic or on top of this. Is interesting catwalk as well because it's vulnerable, but it's a good angle, especially with no smoke high. They have an inkling, surely, that there's 3 on this site. Decent little flashbang from JZ Walkins. He's going to be in a good position. Turns away. Chorus is actually going to be the one top catwalk to actually get the spray down, and they time it right. What a slaughter. I'm very surprised they went to A on that because they had already seen 1 player on highway, which means there has to be 3 toward the A side.
It doesn't look like there's enough pressure on the CT side for me. Like there's no smokes towards the quad side. You can see they've actually got freedom to throw flashbangs and That's the thing. If you've got a smoke there from the T side, you can stop that being a possibility, right? Look at this play right now. Where's the smoke? Where's the Molotov? Why is he not blind? And no one's looking in that direction either. They're all just tunnel vision towards highway. They did not look like a world-class team right now. And this is poor. Their money was bad last round. It's even worse this time. Just down to the pistols once again. We've got Happy going down to $900. Presumably got armor as well. He did. PP50 head armor. That's a weird buy. And they get that run boost once more. I get some pressure here, but it's going to be a couple of nice kills coming in. Make it 3. Oh my god.
That's wrecking them, and he's going to get an 8th kill. Doesn't even need to. He got it with the gun before it landed. So 4 kills for him in the round. He got dinked on the first shot and then survived to take the rest on the AK. The run boost actually got the dink too, which was kind of cool to see, but pretty the Hail Mary.
What a brutal round that was. Well, Ballistics have turned up the play today.
And he's getting triggered early. Get ready for a long day.
Yeah, well, I don't know. EnVyUs has just played a really weird game today. This is... They look like they're just trying to overcommit. They're not waiting and buying time in the defaults and working the picks. So it's like, this is the tactic. We're doing this. Get ready for it. Drop your smokes. Forget a few of them apparently as well. And in they go, all looking in the same position. That's not good enough.
Pistols.
Wow.
Wrecked Scream. It's Fnatic guys. Or rather, Ballistics guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Be careful.
Yeah. They're looking pretty sharp. RPK wraps around to at least pick up a gun, but he's exposed to 2 grabbing it, a little bit zealous. And it's JZ Walkings that's going to re-smoke off a main. XMS could see through the edge of it. Plesson's had enough of that. Imagine he'll go over, grab the AWP at the end of the round once Sixer's dead, which seems the inevitable at this point. Of course, these are the rounds they win. As soon as we say it's over, then they somehow win.
It's over. Stop. Well, 9-3. Looking convincing, is it not? Well, we do have another buy available for EnVyUs here. Tactical pause.
Didn't get to the AWP, but they've got plenty of money, so it won't matter.
Well, 6K for Sixer. Quite appropriate. He can bring out the AWP. He's on 3 for 11 right now. I'll have a look at the scoreboard just while we're here.
Keep in mind this group format. It's the old school 4 in a group,
Yes.
2 losses. Essentially, you're out.
So, yeah, you can lose 1 best of 1 and then a best of 3. Right? So,
But, I mean, it's pressure on Envy if they don't pull up their socks here, because we know that upsets happen in group styles such as this.
yeah, and I think that it's their own fault right now. They've played a really weird game, and they've probably got a bit ahead of themselves and underestimated their opponents.
Man, their coach looks so much like Olaf.
I thought that as well. I thought Olaf here, like when they were kind of
Brought in the champ.
And the funny thing as well, have you seen XMS? He kind of looks like Happy as well. Like it's
Yeah,
something looking like.
does.
Can you see him? Like I thought that was Happy, but
Nope,
it's not. It's
he's in the
actually
middle.
XMS. It's kind of weird like that. But still, let's have a look at this round, shall we? It's going to be EnVyUs. No orb. Okay, Sixer had almost 7K, in fact. He doesn't buy it. Guess he's not feeling too comfortable today, but 9-3. This game's starting to run away with them. Bear in mind, they did win the pistol as well, so only 2 gun rounds coming in so far. Slow boost up towards middle. Karas has been a thorn in their side, but this time a bit more tactical. Using the Molotovs, more of a default this time. Not fully committing straight away, but the flashbang's good from Golden. He's got the AK-47 as well. This could be a nuisance for XMS. Steps up, takes down Karas. They have got the advantage here.
Plus, no. Crossfire set at Scream. That's going to pull back Highway. This will push back the 1 sole remaining CT toward the truck. Lurk kill for Happy. I haven't seen a lot of this to be fair, but come on, you just push the CT site back, you smoke off truck, you leave a gap, you don't even look at it. You've got to at least check that on the way around the corner, Scream.
Looking. Your teammates on the side, what are you looking at?
That's the second time they've done that. There's no one taking obligation or at least communicating correctly, because it was similar to the round you said, where they walked up and were all looking at Highway. Happy's at least holding his own in mid, but he's going to get caught out. 13 HP. At least they have the information as to where the last player is. He's going to go immediately through. Good call, but it's Sixer there to trade it, and Envy get around with 1 player remaining. A reinvestment that has to come in, and Sixer's got to throw a gun over it.
Yeah, he had residual cash, sure, but this is still looking a bit dicey for EnVyUs. What's Scream doing in that play? He's coming up Highway, right? His teammate's on the side about to plant. He's just looking at the bomb site itself. Maybe he hasn't checked quad out yet, and he's just making sure that's safe, but the fact he's walking into no man's land and not even checking CT spawn, like you said, a massive gap in that smoke. Very weird plays going on here right now. No AWP available for Ballistics, though. 5 M4s, and it looks like quite a heavy commitment towards B from EnVyUs here. 4 players towards the storage area to start. Not going all in just yet, but Scream at the front of the pack, looking for any aggressive plays from the CTs. Very common strategy. I do see a little boost towards A storage though. JC Walkins going up in that area.
They actually did try and do this. Oh, I thought they did. Sorry, my mistake. It looked like they were going to do the skylight boosted B. They didn't.
Or the back of the bomb site?
Where you see over top of the windows. Yeah, on top of the boxes.
All 5 players committed towards B. Quite a slow approach. CTs are aware. Drop in their incendiaries now.
Wide side of the smoke to keep it in play. Means they go completely inside of it and not get touched. They do burn up 2 players. Reasonably deep damage done, but it's going to be RPK that gets the better of the kills. 2 on the way through. Only 1 in return. It's Scream that was traded and then brought back. So JZ gets in position above, tries to spray in. They know exactly where he is. Flashes land. And a flank play coming in through from Pleasant toward B main. Oh, that smoke is very good because it would have completely left the boost toward vents exposed, and Pleasant could have potentially sprayed down 2 on entry. He does get around one of them, though. Sixer saves RPK because he's still watching out towards Z, or rather, excuse me, to Tree. And NV pick up number 5.
They do.
Still quite an underwhelming performance.
But still, they should get the 9-6 now. They have broken the bank of, but they say 9-6, like, it's certainly recoverable for a team like EnVyUs. Like, had they not won that previous round, they could have been in serious trouble here. Getting double digits Ballistics would have been a fantastic half from them. But right now, I'm confident once again EnVyUs can pull through this one. But we'll see. Ballistics now with the FAMAS, a UMP, Deagle, a couple of upgraded pistols there as well. CZ, 5.7. Not too many in terms of nades. So you would assume EnVyUs has slowed things right down at this point. Full default required. Karas does push through the smoke in middle. RPK's got his knife out now. Be careful, my friend. This could all fall apart. And he actually will go down for sure.
Wow.
Oh, God. Ooh, almost 20 bullets have to be used, but he gets the bomb down. And gets an AK-47. Doesn't feel confident enough to stay there, though.
No, no need to. I think that's actually a smart play. Gun picked up to go along with the SMG and FAMAS.
Yeah, and it means as well EnVyUs will have to expend some utility just to get that bomb back. They're not sure the CT will be waiting. Time to edge on it now. It's going to be Sixer. Oh, this is falling apart.
Yeah, Happy gets caught completely alone on boost. The AK standing them up. Thanks for the AK. Start off the round. RPK's gun going to kill 3 players now, or 2 I should say. Pistol was the first, but 3 overall. Let's just go one at a time again. Another boost.
A lot of noise, and there it is. What's that play going to do?
Yeah,
Spraying around as loud as he can up towards highway. All right, his teammate had the bomb as well. What was the point?
This is very, very poor. I mean, yeah, you just lost 3 players in mid. Just throw another one at it.
Guess so. Well, 5-on-1 will be the clutch from hell for Ballistics if it happens, but not today, my friend. It's going to be 10-5 Ballistics somehow winning last round as the FAMAS and the UMP. I hate to see that.
You just get some stats taken away from you. No reason.
But that's a really convincing half from Ballistics. After losing the pistol as well, Matt, they win 10-5 in the first half. EnVyUs, I'm sorry, this is not good enough Counter-Strike from them. They've looked sloppy. The executions have been off the mark. The general defaults haven't really been there. They seem to be so focused on the set pieces and the first start of round calls as well. It's not really looking world-class right now. And Ballistics, like you said, in terms of the CD set, that's pretty standard stuff from them, but the individual aims look great. They've actually managed to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Scream, and that's very promising. We're going to the second half, of course, this time. Ballistics on the T side. Four sets of armor. Golden with the smokes 2 flashbangs. I think he's thrown his smoke already. Where does that go? Presumably towards highway, but fast out they go. He's only Happy waiting for the other side. He has to deliver here. Sitting in the smoke could actually cause a lot of trouble. This is getting scary now.
Happy. Downed.
How?
Golden jumping with a Glock. RPK on the flank immediately with Scream. That's going to find, and XMS to be fair, it's going to find kills on the way through. They all do a little bit of damage. Scream's the one that picks up the award. XMS gets left with 2 HP though, which is a bit problematic. Going in against 3 players on Glocks that have good positions and know that they're on the flank as well, but they get in deep. Scream. 2 players going to face him. He gets the first. It's Sixer that actually gets it over his shoulder, but he's since gone down. It's got to be Scream going over the top. He's lost sight of him. Jaywalking's, how's he not? Okay, they've run away from each other. I thought he would have turned and heard Scream try and drop down. He's trying to bait him out because he's lost him entirely, which is going to give time to Jaywalking, so he goes aggressive, does damage, and now he can just sit back. Kit picked up, doesn't need to take this fight, but somehow does and wins it. They go 1-1 in pistols, but Ballistics with a massive lead. They're going to take an 11-5 start with momentum.
You've got to be pretty brave to continually challenge Scream like that, but he got away with it somehow. Scream doesn't seem to be hitting all the shots today. He's got 13 kills, but you'd expect him to win those sort of clutches. He actually seemed to get information that the player was towards the quad position and had a tunnel vision towards that area of the map. Once he found them out, I thought he was going to win the duel, but Ballistics do win the pistol. There is going to be a force buy here from EnVyUs as well, so they're going all in with the Deagles. 5 sevens, P250s, 1 flash and a smoke. So Sixer doesn't get the armor, means he can get the AWP in the first gun round. But if they lose this, it could actually be 13-5 in favor of Ballistics. This round is very important. 4 players towards highway, a little bit strange. Taking Walking's looking to mow them down here. Gets the first kill, but RPK chimes in. And they're assuming it's a B-side attack now. You can see the rotating through CD Spawn, which is actually the right call to make. They've shown presence at highway, and Ballistics are hoping they can just walk into this B-bomb site.
Headshot. Karas does get it, but it's awkward. He loses a lot of HP. Small pit stairs are trying to keep him alive, but to no avail. XMS gets him back with the SMG picked up 1 versus 2 as well, and bombs dropped inside of B. XMS flirting with it, but he's going to have to concede given that he's smoked off. No way he pushes through this. It's waiting to be flashed off, but they're not going to push him in turn. They've got to get to the bomb.
Yeah, it's 2 versus 1. He's only got the UMP, right? No nades. He's had 3 kills into this. We'll see whether he can do much more.
And unfortunately gets smoked off as soon as he wanted to go. Golden's just staring at the smoke as well. Tough entry point.
He's got to make his move any second now. He's waiting for that smoke to go down. Doesn't really do much about it. Unlucky for XMS. Decent damage from the CTs there. Went for a bit of a gamble with the force by in the second round we described as to why that can be dangerous in the best of 1. And Ballistics now in a pretty dominating position, 12-5, and it's almost ending to be 13-5. EnVyUs will have to take another eco here. Just some PT50s, and this could slip away from them. Ballistics looking like the better team, I have to say. In terms of their buy, 2 AKs of Galil, bought out of a Mac 10 and UMP as well. Perfect weapons to this scenario. Throw them into the bomb sites first. If you do come into a stack, not a big problem. Against armor, the Mac 10's almost useless, but it's very good at mowing down full eco players, and you can get some extra cash as well.
On top behind bags, forces RPK out in the open. Happy, I think, was the second, excuse me, Sixer, so he's going to sit, not move. XMS and Sixer together, though they bring the crossfires down from highway. Decent damage in, but unfortunately they've lost most of the kills in trying to do so.
Wow, we have a very interesting scenario next round. After the force buy in the second, sure, EnVyUs can get rifles, but they'll be limited, right? And this is sort of a bonus round for Ballistics, right? We call it that because you're going to be saving a Mac 10, a UMP, a Galil. You know there's potentially no head armor on EnVyUs. They won't have incendiaries. I'm doing the fastest strategy I've got in the book right now. I'm doing the fast plays through middle. I'm doing the full execution towards A. Knowing they won't have a full buy, that's what I'm calling right now. If you're a smart end game leader, this is your dream scenario right now. But Happy, it's causing some damage, to be fair. Could be going down at this point, but still, CT is going to be low. So I'm doing something very, very quick this round.
I like the pre-fire attempt. We'll see if Ballistics are as apt to reading the game as we are with all of our information.
Well, they have the same information. They know there's a force buy in the second round.
Yeah, of course. But do the mathematics, that's all. They should. It's pretty simple, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes the lesser experienced teams, I don't know what to expect, Henry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to paint a story. Would you just play along, please?
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So yeah, four unarmored heads. They've actually dropped their SMGs, so going for that faster paced approach, it seems.
Yeah, the op suggests from Sixer. Once they figure that out, they could have to slow down if they find a pick, but spread the defense out. Pretty straightforward. This far from the CTs. A little bit different in B. They're playing the box behind Checker, and XMS a little bit closer up when they walk through B main. So no one in the site direct, which also means it's actually quite easy to try and get a crossfire set on them from B main. At the same time, it's not hard to smoke that off and run back. So very slow pace.
Yeah, the opposite of what I would have brought to the table, but they still have the utility to work with here. Bit of mid-control coming in now. Sixer will be watching the boost position. There's no smoking connected. They give a kill away to that. I'll be disappointed, but let's see if it works out for them. Smoke deployed. Sixer has to fall back. Looking very good so far from Ballistics.
Happy wants them to go over top of the drop. He's going to get it as well, but Plesson's got a much better shot. To be fair, even in his tenure in Fnatic, the one thing they said about him is that his crosshair placement was very good. I remember Olaf actually telling that to me. So watch his accuracy, but RPK's done better. Golden's gotten over top, but he's lost track of where exactly the two players have gone. And from below quad, up close, Sixer, here's Golden and finds him first. Means now EnVyUs sure to win the round, and they do. Scream closes it.
Yeah. Not such an exciting finish to that round. They get the first pick, and they seemed a little bit apprehensive to commit towards the A side, walking up highway, and then RPK got boosted in the vents by his teammate, finds 2 very easy kills in the back. You can see a little bit of the inexperience from Ballistics being shown at that point, and that's actually broken their money as well after upgrading. They didn't keep those SMGs. They dropped those in spawn. They said, just go fast. You've got those SMGs. Let's just go as quick as we possibly can. Didn't really like that approach to them, I have to say. You're actually allowing EnVyUs to get into that round by going so slowly. Yeah, sure, you got the first pick, but then you didn't commit. You didn't punish them for it. And then they got back into the round with those reactions. We know what a sort of reaction-based map Cash can be. They don't force into this round, which I think is the right play. Six will open things up. You get Deagles and, sorry, they get Deagles and no armor, a couple of flashbangs, but an easy shot for him to kick things off. Deagles can be very powerful on Cash, but I don't think they'll be making much of a dent here in round number 20.
Michael Lilly's tweeted saying this was a mistake to play them on Cash because it's Ballistics' best map by far.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Michael. Good to hear from you. Nate Kill on JZ Walkings. Yeah, but back to you on Twitter.
Yeah.
We don't have the Beaver here, so. Or the Vulture.
No, we're missing everyone.
RPK gets down cursed. We've got to give animal names. I think the Weasel, we can assign that to...
We don't have the Frog either.
We don't have the Frog. The Weasel's up for grabs, though.
It's not a very nice one, is it? Calling someone a weasel.
I'll be the Weasel.
You want to be the weasel?
No, I'm the little lobster. Batten trying to go back out. 18 HP tag down, so Envy have to continue to run with these rounds while they can get them. Can't let them get to 14, 15, and obviously 16, Henry.
Yes, well, stabilized now are EnVyUs. They get the AWP out, of course. They still have XMS and Famous, but he's fine with that. Hasn't had the biggest of games. Same for Happy as well. Happy's on 7 kills, 18 deaths. Cash is normally one of his staple maps, especially on the T side. Very good at backstabbing and getting timings. He just didn't really seem to turn up at all in that first half, but all can be forgiven in the second. I still think they'll win this game, believe it or not, even with this scoreline. I think they'll get back into it. Ballistics, I'm going to assume, are going to have trouble closing out games against these sort of teams after losing that sort of round they did when they had the advantage. I can see a few holes being made now. We'll see what happens.
Ooh, missed Molotov. No one there, thankfully. Watch the boost. I think they've gotten all the way in. XMS should be right behind them, but the Molotov's time. Well, it pushes XMS back. They want to go boosting again, but it's going to be a brawl. But Town's gone down. So that's the player taken out by Sixer. Smart shot over the edge of the hut, which opens this position up to RPK, which is perfect because he walks in behind them. No one's looking.
Exactly the same thing that happened in the previous gun round as well. That's nuts. They just don't seem to think that the vent boost on the CD side is a possibility. They both look towards the connector.
And I think it's because they're putting too much confidence in that Molotov. Because they came after the Molotov was gone.
Yeah, tactical timeout now. I think you need it, boys. They seem to be like, okay, slow default, get this mid control, and they have the same positions every single round. RPK loving it, game boosting the vents and finding them not even looking at that vent every single time.
Golden's having a heck of a game. Happy, on the other hand, is not, which goes to talk about T-side, because usually if they're playing well as a team, he's able to collect a lot of kills.
That's true, but this is the exact scenario. I find that quite funny to watch. Same players, same
You have
positions.
a morbid sense of humor, don't you?
Yes. Well, there's 6. So like I said, I still think EnVyUs will win this game. We'll see what happens. Golden, the in-game leader, of course. We'll see what he can do. As we get into round number 22, I think this has to be an eco. Lost Spread is a third.
That's a good point. In-game leader, and he's top fragging.
He is, 24 kills. I don't put much weight into the whole, if you're an in-game leader, you don't frag.
Well, that's my point, but everyone does. So he's proof that that's not true always.
No. Well, Fallen proves that quite well.
That's the king of all. So JZ, because he's balling out of control, has bought some armor. The rest of them didn't. Multi-platinum armor, perhaps. Sixer takes down Golden. Good fast shot to take down Chorus as well. Big dink onto Happy. He's got to run up highway and get away before they wrap around the corner, and thankfully he will, but Pliston's got screen. Sixer back through the smoke, though. Has now got his 3rd kill, and RPK will close it out. Envy will collect the round. Those two getting... I was about to say all the kills. Screaming got one, too, so...
Yeah,
spoke too soon.
It's looking very comfortable now for EnVyUs. Ballistics, I'd like to see some faster stuff from them. A little bit looser. We'll see what they can bring it to the table. But so far, looks a little bit out of their depth on the gun runs. On the pistol, sure, I've got that 3-0, but it's been a 4-0 sweep for EnVyUs. Still quite early days in the second half. We'll see whether they have anything else up their sleeve. Is the replay. Quite a simple procedure from 6, I have to say. Wasn't really challenged that much. Round number 23 now. XMS still was famous. Hasn't had to do much at all here, and it's aggressive play from the CTs. I like this. Towards A storage, trying to get that first pick, and we've got a mix-up of play as well from Ballistics, faster this time towards middle. They've got the control coming in. Sixer decides to fall back. He'll presumably be warping towards quad. My way right now. This is going to be a B split straight away, and RPK's isolated now. He's by himself, but it doesn't seem to phase him as he finds the first kill.
Done all right. Stuck in the corner, flashing himself out. He's got to get a kill to leave this corner. He knows the flashes are coming against him, and there's nowhere to go. He couldn't find the second one fast enough, so 4-4 site takedown bomb on the platform as well. Scream will throw a Molotov a little bit late. Forces JZ over to the side box, though, but he didn't peek it when he crossed. Yeah, nonetheless, the kills from B main and inside of the vents have gone well. JZ's brought it back to make it at least a 1 versus 2 if he can isolate. Molotov's going to land, force him back the other way this time. And watch behind him because Sixer snuck in headshot and he didn't see it.
So RPK there, right? He's by himself. And he only gets 1 kill, but he did something very key in that scenario. He actually just bought so much time by tucking himself in that corner, throwing flashbangs out as well. He was trying to stay alive as long as he possibly could. He bought his team an extra 5 seconds there, and that's a lifetime in Counter-Strike for rotations in that sort of sense. So he did a very good job there. The CT's already pushing towards A storage, so he could guarantee it would be a full commitment to the B side of the map as well. And a very nice retake coming in as well. There was a couple of frags evidences to make it a convincing situation at least. 2 versus 1 for JZ Walkins, but great utility usage from EnVyUs. Molotov towards our back left position where they knew where he was, and they managed to run away with the round. Maximum loss bonus now for Ballistics, which means $3,400 per player. They got the bomb down in the previous round as well, so they do get a decent buy here. JZ Walkins out head armor of the AWP, but shouldn't be a massive issue. That smoke goes down. Decides to push it, looking towards checkers. Doesn't go any further than this, yet to be seen.
Good little strafe jump by him. Bunny hop. See if his movement stays true. Hard to judge in one game. RPK though. Downed. So good find considering he got aggressive with the AWP.
Yeah, he found RPK boosting himself on the bomb site there. So that's a free pick for him. Took some balls to walk into the site with the AWP, but it paid off for him. 5 on 4 now. Goes down to 17 HP. Like we said, Cash, a very reaction-based map. If a CT loses the pick like that, they're going to be hunting on the other side of the map and trying to maybe balance the situation. They haven't fully committed just yet. Scream by himself towards the A side, holding from Forklift for now. And you can see the T is very tentative to do anything about this. They want to see whether anyone's going to walk into their crosshair and give them another free kill here.
Scream's backed off from Fork. Probably the right time to do it, to get someone inside of the site, because Golden would have walked out from Squeaky. Didn't have a Molotov to put him behind it, but they could have bounced one in. Instead, now put it behind Quad. Course, the one to throw it. Scream looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Batten's gotten around. They'll go for the fast plant, and a good find JZ again, as Happy goes down to the AWP. Sight given up, and Envy 2 against 5 make it 4 as they find Course inside of middle. But do they even go for this? Kits on both. They've got to find a pick pretty much right away to give themselves a chance.
They've got plenty of residual cash, but I don't think this is worth it. Sure, you can limit this terrorist side. Now it becomes possible.
I was going to say that kill is going to encourage them. Red HP on 2. Push through. XMS finds it. This could all fall apart. The high HP player's button, though. He's sitting on top of the site. AWP up close. That's it. The no-scope goes a little early. And thankfully, he saves it for Ballistics. They find 14 rounds. Or their 14th round, I should say, and money. Not great, but they keep 2 alive, and they grab an op.
Yeah. Well, EnVyUs now starting to feel the pressure. There's still plenty of money for them. I think we had XMS with $14,000. We said he had that famous for so long, built up a huge reservoir of cash there, so he's absolutely fine. We're going to round number 25, Ballistics, with the opening pick. It came down to JZ Walkins getting that opening kill at the B side. That's not a common strategy. You can't rely on it, right? You can't say, just go walking in and find the first pick, and Sixer takes down Gold, and I think he had the good spawn. Quite common. You get that really good T-side spawn, and CTs look to be pushing in here and finding the next as well. Lovely stuff here. 5 on 3, as quick as you'd like, and they can fall back now. Job done. They managed to get a huge advantage, and this will be a massive reset round for Ballistics as well. This could get EnVyUs right back into this game.
Scream takes down Pleasant. RPK swings out at exactly the right time against Chorus, and yeah, money's going to be gone. Minute 14, they've already lost 4 players. Fast and careless. JZ might get one more here. I have a ooh, missed that shot. I was going to say, I have a feeling he gets that shot at least, but now I'm not so sure, Hank.
Remaining fighting back at least. It is Jay-Z Walkins. It's going to be a 4 versus 1, trying to limit the CT economy all he can, but he'll be taken down in the end, and that's a pretty devastating round for Ballistics. Now, this game has got overtime written all over it. This might be a double eco situation for Ballistics, so that'll probably bring us to 14-13, and EnVyUs, I think they've looked at the better team so far in the gun rounds, and Ballistics will probably be happy to get to overtime at this point, I would say. We'll see what happens. So Tech9s, oh, they're going all in. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this buy, but I guess, like I said, it would have been double eco regardless. So Tech9, PG50, a UMP as well. This would suggest a straight-up rush, and will be a D towards B storage. All 5 players committing, waiting for that first CT push and the smoke to come in. In terms of utility, they've got 3 smokes, right? So you can smoke towards Heaven, CT spawn, maybe one towards Headshot as well, and then you'll be Molotoving the bomb side for any retreating players. They know RPK likes to play B by himself, so problem is XMS is backing him up this time. Don't see much coming from this round, but who knows? Molotov's deployed, here comes the commitment.
And they're in. But they're cut off by RPK, who's now blind. That's a problem. Gets his vision back, and look what he does with it. It's 2 kills for him and 2 for XMS. It's now 12 rounds. It was pretty straightforward in terms of weaponry, as you said, but the fast play could have caught them off. Now, we go for a potential 13th round for EnVyUs.
Yeah, this has to be the full eco now for Ballistics. That was the Hail Mary play. The full commitment with the Tech9s. You can see RPK. How good has he looked recently in terms of his aim and just general confidence? This is the player we used to know and love about 7 years ago. Looks very, very good. And
you knew and hated.
I definitely hated it. It was unbelievable. My nemesis along with Shoxy.
Op goes through the wall and does massive damage, and then it's just a shooting range for the tank. Imagine that was your nickname, Hank the Tank. That would have worked.
Yeah. It would have been pretty apt, but I'm going to cough him out for 1 second. You might have to analyze it.
That's, I'll do my best. So a bunch of people walked in. They threw a flash. The op didn't hit, but then RPK sprayed them all down low enough that they just rotated in and got them all. See, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I said, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, then, this is what we said. I would say Ballistics would be happy with overtime at this point. From what they've seen on the T side, EnVyUs have looked quite dominant, I have to say. So it'll be round number 28. We're going the full distance here. All for 6 up, 5 AKs on Ballistics side. The AWP hasn't really worked out for them, especially well apart from that one round where Jay-Z Walkins just walks into B. Like I said, that's not a consistent strategy. You can't rely on that to get your opening picks. That's a bit of an anomaly, I would say. So we go into a default for now, spread across the map, and grenade doesn't quite hit there, but...
That would have bounced if it was a millimeter to the left. Would have bounced and probably hit Batten almost dead on. Straight up the butt. So Molotov toward lockers. Maybe he actually anticipates that someone's crossed over on that smoke because it bounced that direction. I thought it was just a missed throw, but now he's actually still positioning himself to watch the left side. So it's possible that's his thoughts. Smoke in front of the door.
Yeah. Wow. What's the play here from Ballistics? I'm having a look right now if I can work it out where they'll be edging towards eventually. They don't seem to want to commit at all. This is a very slow, passive default from them. No one really actively hunting for any sort of frag or opening here. A smoke deployed towards quad that screams above it. I don't think they'll be accounting for this whatsoever. He gets 2 kills there all day long.
Well, it's the M4 and the shoulder peak, so he gets none.
Wow.
I thought 1 maybe, but Batten's got him down. Assist. And credit to Jay-Z, who was peeking with him, but now it's Sixer that's in behind the smoke. He wants to Molotov it when they run through. Problem is he's on AWP. I'd rather have the gun drawn. Misses a shot as well. They're going to know he's there, but goes back, finds another. I thought maybe get Golden. And that was it. Then he would go down for sure. But Golden's done well, staying alive in that, finding the kill, and then rotating his aim back toward Highway. It's RPK he finds, leaving just XMS. And this is their round. It's 15. They're on map point. You said overtime, Henry. That's going to be tough for EnVy. We'll see.
Definitely overtime. Calling that.
Definitely. Would you like to lay a wager?
Cream pie?
A cream pie.
Okay.
That is the eternal wager.
Seems to be a fan
You also
favorite.
went to the gym, you said, today.
I did.
So now you have to go every day.
That's
and
true.
every day you don't go, it's a cream pie.
For the next 30 days. Wow. As soon as I started. I was in there this morning at 3 a.m. That was my downfall.
So you have 24 hours to go again?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get a cream pie.
Who gets to deploy then?
We'll take turns. Okay. There'll be a lot of them, I feel like.
Another pool of fire. Anyway, let's get into this one. Double AWP setup for EnVyUs. Could this be their unraveling? We haven't seen this so far on their CT setup. They'd be happy who's had a stinker of a game so far.
I think the next level, Henry, for you is we need to give you the cream pie in public.
Yeah, well, they are my favorite, so that would make sense. We'll see whether we can organize that. Maybe not at this event.
Why not?
We like to be professional at this one.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay, noted. Hang on, let me adjust all of my internal settings. Dial it back. So double op set up Happy and Sixer. RPK's late in his approach to go toward checker or get aggressive in B, but he's considering it. Now he'll back off. It's mid instead, though. Happy's got the first shot, misses it. That's going to give them mid control.
Yeah, he's been so poor this map, hasn't he?
Very. He was relaxing outside of, I say outside of the studio, still in the offices, but outside of where they're playing before they started, and he seemed quite calm.
Open.
But yep, Baton's got XMS down, Batten, I should say, excuse me.
Come on, Happy.
But it's got to be Happy to pull it back because they rotated off this RPK as well. Happy misses yet another shot. They're inside of the site. This could be the game in itself. Nade's going to hit 2. Decent damage. Almost max damage. Considering the armor situation, he's still got a line up toward the secondary box, but they're not going to cross back over. They're staying quite complacent. No Molotovs to push them out of position. That would be massive if they had one. Scream's able to at least pick up Chorus.
This is tense.
Scream's going to rotate back out toward Skylight as well. Sixer on the way through, up close. Double ops is all they've got left. It's Happy that's going to be the last alive. He's going to drop in. That's going to be the game. It's going to be Ballistics taking down Envy in what I would call an upset to start things off.
We didn't have any upsets at the Americas Minor, Matt. Nothing. Nothing to get excited about. In the first game of the European Minor, that's what we want to see. Teams up against the ropes, underestimating their opponents and going down. Like we said, EnVyUs kind of pushing towards the top 10 team in the world right now, and I don't think anyone expected much from Ballistics in this tournament whatsoever. That's a huge upset, and Happy, like you said, very poor throughout. He was one of the key reasons that rounds were not being found there. I thought the overtime was happening, apparently not.
Yeah, CT was not, or excuse me, T, he was not assertive at all, and CT that last round, you can highlight it. 2 big missed shots. I mean, there was other problems as well. I think as you highlighted as well on their T side, they were really, really sloppy with their utility.
Yeah, that wasn't an EnVyUs I've ever seen before, and it's a map they're normally pretty good at, but as Michael Eddy tweeted, apparently Ballistics is one of their absolute best maps, and they've shown it today. That's a crazy result to kick off the tournament. Hopefully that sets the tone for the rest of the day. I like it.
I'd make an envious pun about not being envious of that result, but that one's too obvious. So let's see people who are clever actually at their job. We'll bring in Paul and Thorin.
Hello.
And the improved Henry, because it's Henry G, but he's Harry GG.
Yeah.
So
what was that pun?
I said it was bad.
Have you ever
Good,
watched a
was
map
it?
before? Like,
You want to
this
see
is
how it's
pretty
done,
far.
Matt?
Yeah,
The thing
let's go.
Okay, EnVyUs came in here thinking they were the favourites probably for the whole tournament, definitely for this game right now, but an unexpected golden showers really rained on their parade. But I'll tell you who was really taking the piss, Happy in that game.
And on that note, it's goodbye from us.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Thank you very much, lads. We'll come back to our 2 commentators after this particular wrap-up of game number 1, where we did get a surprise. As you heard Henry say, we didn't get many at the North American Minors, but we've got one in the opening matchup today. They join a long list: LDLC, Kinguin, Heroic, and now EnVyUs. We shouldn't underestimate this team anymore, should we?
It definitely helps, though, if you give them one of their best maps. I mean, if you notice, all the kind of analysis everyone was giving was that they're not really known for having a very wide map pool, you know. They haven't had, aside from these notable upsets, a lot of great performances recently. And EnVyUs, bizarrely, just played right into their hands, gave them one of their better maps. And then, obviously, some misplays from some of the EnVyUs players didn't really show up in this game.
Yeah, and we're going to see some highlights in a moment. Harry, what do you make of that?
Yeah,
it's a good start for them, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a very good start. And, you know, falling silent from Envy in that T side, I think, is really what held them back. When you notice they get onto that CT side half, they did a hell of a lot better. There were just a couple of key rounds, and I think some poor choices in terms of their economy, which constantly left them kind of trying to fight it back and on the back foot. And Happy at the end there with that double up setup left so much to be desired. And I mean, I can't even count the number of missed shots we saw him, you know, that could have turned that entire round on its head. And I think overtime was definitely a possibility. But I mean, he had a couple of plays which I think, you know, were significant, but really a lot of it I think falls onto him, and it's kind of horrid to put it all onto one player. But even in that last round, for example, one where they really needed that double up setup to work, and the second, you know, you're taking 2 orcs into the retake, you're going to find yourself struggling anyway, and it doesn't help when one of them is missing everything. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's some crucial shots in there, weren't there? It's not beating around the bush.
Yeah.
There were some crucial misses in there. It didn't help that they got off to this terrible start either.
No, I mean, that's the problem with this game. Even though the score was obviously very, very close, it was 2 bad T-sides. Like, EnVyUs themselves were really dire. They were playing a pretty slow style, you know. Funnily enough, when they had to do a couple of rushes, that's where they got a few rounds on the board. So The problem is you couldn't really know how good the guys from Ballistics were because it was just this. They were just sat in spots spraying people down. And then funny thing is, they swap over, and even though they got the early start, they were close to winning. Then EnVyUs just, it was ditto, you know, they did the same thing. You just had RPK spraying people down. Sixer actually had a very good game in this one. Obviously, we highlighted him in the pre-show, you know. One of the things that's different now is he obviously was an AWPer in 1.6, but he had Kenny S on his team in EnVyUs, so you're never going to get a hold of it very often there. And so he really had a good game. Scream was pretty good for some of it. Really, the guy you have to point to is Happy, and he was being outfragged by everyone in the whole server, and then that bizarre double up at the very end on the last round just seemed almost like a panic play, you know?
I mean, it's something we've seen from the French teams over the years, and it has worked in the past, but just seemed a strange time to bring it out, didn't it?
Well, you would certainly think, like, if nothing's been working for you, buying an AWP in that situation, probably not the most ideal scenario. If you're not hitting your shots, that is literally, you know, you must hit your shots with that weapon to get any kills at all. So, a very bizarre move in that sense. I mean, in that respect, they went to the right side.
Yeah, it felt a lot more like a desperation sort of play to try and claw some success back at the end. And I think ultimately it just didn't work out for them. Happy. He was given, I think, the ones I wrote down, he was given at least 3 opportunities where he could have turned that round on its head and kept them in it, kept fighting for the overtime. And I mean, even then, you kind of have to look to the round before, at round 28, where the buy did come back in from Ballistics, and they actually had to pick the round up. I remember saying that if EnVy won it, I think they could have won the whole game, because they would have been reset economically for that last round. It's just, it was unfortunate that in round 28 they get completely ruined up there towards A. Six is someone that, you know, you were just drawing attention to yourself. I think he was doing a lot of good work with the AWP, but if you remember, he was kind of left on his own out towards the A bomb site high and dry, trying to hold things off from behind quad, but you can only do so much with the AWP, and he gets himself too, but it just isn't enough, right? And that was kind of the issue. He was the AWPer, as you would be expecting, but yeah, I mean, Happy had no business picking that AWP up, really.
MVP for this one, we've picked out Barton. It could have been any one of three or even all 5 players in a way, but plenty of kills on the board for this man. 24 for 19, 3 assists and 5 trade kills, 4 openers, and more importantly perhaps 8 retake or post-plant kills as well. So definitively good performance from this man, but they had a few in the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as I alluded to with the pun, Golden had a particularly good game as well. Now, the interesting thing about picking out Barton here is, like, he's not really thought of as necessarily one of the stars of the team. You know, you do look for Jay-Z, Walking Z, Golden, Karas maybe. I mean, these are more the names you expect to be. So I think him having a big performance and then Happy, I mean, remember, the old EnVyUs, Happy was once upon a time the star of the team. So you saw the real mismatch between the positions there.
And obviously disappointing opening for EnVyUs. What do they do now?
Yeah, I feel like that they're a team that can sometimes struggle to get off necessarily on the right foot, but it doesn't bode that well for them, I don't think, really, throughout all of this. I think as well, on the flip side, you know, I think that I keep wanting to call them Fnatic Academy to the point that now I've been, but yeah, Ballistics. You know, I mean,
naughty boy.
Yeah,
Harry.
I know. They can't be disappointed with this, right? It was a win that I don't think anyone expected them to get, and I feel like, you know, they should walk away with this with their heads held high, at least with some good early results.
Okay, well, let's find out whether they do enjoy this win, because Jay-Z Walkings is going to join us now from the studio. Congrats on a great win from you. Was this something that you guys thought was possible before the game started?
Yeah, I think it was possible. We just had a mentality that we just had to play calm and play our game and be ready for everything. And we thought we could win, and we did. Okay,
you got to 13, and it looked pretty easy for you. And then suddenly EnVyUs start coming back at you. What were you talking about during those rounds?
We just tried to calm down because we made some like solo plays. I think the guys tried to end it earlier than we could. So we were a bit solo. They got some picks on us, and yeah, they got some easy rounds there. So we just calmed down and grouped up together, and after some rounds we could finish it.
Why do you think that people here on the desk and outside of the world, why do we keep underestimating your team?
Well, like we are pretty much unproven, and that's why we're here and trying to prove ourselves. So there's like, sure, people underestimate us, but I think they shouldn't.
Okay, we've got Thorin and Harry on here. Thorin, you got anything you want to ask Jay-Z?
I wanted to ask actually about the veto, because Cash isn't particularly a strong map for EnVyUs, actually. So do you feel as though, like, do you think they disrespected you and thought, you know, it's a skill map, so we'll just outfrag them? I mean, it's one of your better maps, right?
Yeah, got a bit surprised actually, because we also knew they weren't so good at cash. We were expecting cobblestone. So I don't know why, if they thought that we were really good on cobblestone and they respected us because of that. But it seemed a bit dodgy, I agree. But yeah, we were happy to get cash.
So if you remember last year when you were in Crowns, you crushed Sean Gares' dreams when he was in Echo Fox, you know. Now you've taken out Happy. Are you just going to kill all the old veteran in-game leaders? Like, God B's coming up now, so you're just going to take out, get rid of all the old dogs, put them all down, right?
Yeah, well, they can't stay on top forever, right?
Exactly. That's the thing, Happy. Oh, sorry, yeah. Continue.
Yeah, I don't know. My question was going to be just, in your opinion, then, who was kind of the one player for EnVy who was causing you a lot of problems? Because I think, you know, from our perspective, it looked like it was probably Sixer, the one who was kind of laying waste to you guys on these pushes. But who was the one that was causing all the issues for you, and how did you kind of deal with that?
Well, I think, yeah, I pretty agree much on that it was Sixer. He was pretty annoying to play against. So yeah, but at the same time, they didn't do so much random stuff like that we expected, so it wasn't that annoying. We could read them pretty good. We had good information all the time, so they weren't so annoying to play against. But yeah, it was Sixer causing a lot of problems.
Okay, we're going to thank you very much for your interview. Just one final question for you as well. Big or Kinguin in the next round? Because you played both of them in the closed qualifier. Lost to Big, but you beat Kinguin, so presumably you guys would prefer to have Kinguin, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we would. I think we match up pretty good against Kinguin. Big is a very aggressive team, so they're pretty harder to play against. But I think we can take down both of them. But yeah, preferably Kinguin.
All right. Well, thanks very much, and good luck in your next match.
Thanks a lot.
It's JZ Walkins there, safely through to the upper bracket final in Group A, where they will meet either Big or Kinguin, and will be our next matchup. Just final thoughts from you two gents. It is a bit of a surprise, but I mean, JZ seems fairly confident. They got a good map choice, felt like they could beat them on any map anyway. So, you know, why did we kind of underestimate them?
I mean, I have to say, like, we did point out the map aspect. The problem is, though, that's the storyline everyone has for Cash at the moment. It's supposed to be the skill map. So actually, you look at the players on EnVyUs, they should be far and away the more skilled team, you know. I mean, none of the players over on the Ballistics side, they're not even in the talks to be in the next Godsent or near, but, you know, all the Swedish shuffles. So this is just one of those games, I feel like, where Happy had a pretty bad game. Some of the others were really misfiring at times. With that said, though, luckily with this format, EnVyUs have a lot more chances to come back. In fact, actually going back to down the lower bracket, you have best of threes all the way, even out of the group. So in theory, they should still be okay, but obviously you cannot perform at this level.
Okay. Harry, final thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one that Ballistics, as we said, should be happy with beating EnVy, but at the same time, I'm expecting more from EnVy at least to come out of this. I think that they've got a lot to show. You know, they have to show that they can still perform. I mean, that they're a team that were forged from the remnants of some of the great French players, and kind of just scooped up all these guys who were left over into a team. And I was expecting more, even though it was Cash, even though it's not a map that's necessarily one that's great for them. And especially after seeing how Ballistics had played at recent events as of late, being at some of them myself, and just seeing how they were affected mentally, I wasn't expecting them to do that well whatsoever. So I'm at least happy to see that they are in good form for this, as they haven't been in a lot of the kind of past stuff we've seen them at.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much, Harry. Thank you very much to Duncan as well. We're headed for a break very shortly, of course, but more action coming. Big versus Kinguin is next. And don't forget, this is just part of a very long and winding road that heads to the Krakow Major. No more so than from the Asia Minor, which took place a couple of weeks ago.